Welcome, everyone, to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by CAS Clinical Consulting and Everable Marketing, the go-to resource to learn the latest hacks and the best practices for marketing and growing a profitable medical aesthetics practice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. I'm joined with Maripili.
Hey.
And we got a cool episode for you guys today. We're actually going to be talking about something that we've kind of been, normally when we bring on a new client, it's something that we discuss with them. And so we wanted to also, bring that to you guys and let you know some of the things that we've kind of helped our clients implement when they come on board.
Right. So this is called the customer journey, right?
Yeah, so mapping out the patient journey in your business, and so in working with med spas, we've kind of identified that this is not something that it's very rare, and part of this has to do a lot with your SOPs, your standard operational procedures, and what's supposed to happen when certain scenarios happen in your business and how should they be handled, right? And this goes back down to systemizing your business, guys, which is what we're all about here. And so
it just makes it easier for you to grow.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to train your staff.
Yes, 100%.
It makes it easier for everybody at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
it's and there's less thinking involved when certain scenarios happen. It's always like your manual, it's your guide when certain things are happening. And so there's obviously a lot of things that you guys can map out in your business and for a lot of different scenarios. But the one that we are talking about today is just onboarding a new client. What does it take to bring on a new client? And then what should happen whenever you bring on this new client? And what are the different stages so that you guys can actually keep moving them down that funnel and ultimately they become a patient, right?
Yeah.
And so
this is coming from like lead all the way to an actual buying client, right?
Yes. And so there's a few different stages that we've kind of outlined. And so I'm going to go through all of them, and then I'll talk about some of the things that we've kind of believe that should be done in each single step so that you can keep moving that patient down that process, okay? And I will just say that these are things that we've just kind of come up with, and we've even used them in our business. You can apply them to almost any type of business, but feel free to take it and adjust it and make it your own, guys. These are at the end of the day our best practices, things that we've seen, that we've outlined, that we feel work. But take it and make it your own. And talking about taking it and making it your own, we're actually going to have this as a downloadable. So if you guys go to the show notes, there will be a link on there, so you can actually go and download this, and you can have our template. Then you can take it and play with it.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the ideal customer journey. This is what ideally should happen, right?
Yes. So let's talk about for when a new lead is generated. So that is usually the first thing, right? When a new lead is generated, what's supposed to happen in your business, right? And these are the questions that you need to be asking yourselves if you want to start scaling it. And so what we always say, okay, well, a lead is generated, then we need to get in touch with that lead. So we need to call the lead, or the lead calls us, right? That's number one. Number two is the lead actually schedules. Number three, the lead shows up. Number four, the lead gets consulted. Number five, the lead actually makes a purchase. Number six, the lead gets treated. And then number seven, I'm on number seven, right? The lead will actually, what happens post-treatment, basically, right? And so those are the 7 steps that we're basically outlining. So whenever a new lead is generated, these are the 7 steps that need to happen so that ultimately not only can we generate a sale, but then we can also deliver the service that they actually ended up buying for. Because it doesn't end when somebody purchases. It ends when somebody gets treated, right? Yeah. And all of those things need to happen.
Yeah. And you can even end up adding more steps to make sure that patient comes back, a referral.
Yeah, exactly.
That, right?
And because you can, and that's the thing, guys, like you're mapping out the patient experience, okay?
Yes.
So when how can you build an amazing experience for this person so that they want to come? Not only do they, first of all, so that they can actually get, the best service possible. they can really enjoy that service, and then they can actually get the result that they're looking for. But then so that you can influence that experience so that they'll want to come back and then go home and tell all their friends about it,
Yeah.
And so that's what you're trying to engineer, guys. And the best businesses in the world engineer this to the smallest detail, guys. And there's it's actually becoming I just recently, I have a lot of friends in that work with like Fortune 500 and stuff like that. And one of the things that they've been coining this as, it's called service design. Honestly, I have no idea why it's called service design, but basically,
I guess you can design this. Every single step of that service.
And so because it's not just, okay, I'm providing this service. It's basically outlining the entire business and the experience that people are going to have at every single interaction, at every single touch point with your business. Okay.
Right.
And so, the best businesses in the world have this down. Think about Starbucks. Think about why people are willing to spend, $5-6 a cup of coffee versus going to another coffee shop and paying way less, going to McDonald's and it all goes back down to that brand.
Every high-end brand has this.
Yeah.
From the moment you go into a high-end store,
exactly.
Like every single touch point, every single experience, up to the packaging and how they deliver it to you.
Yeah. Have you guys, it's like if you buy like Apple, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but recently we always buy Apple, so it kind of became like a normal thing for us. But then for my dad, it was his birthday a few weeks ago, and we bought him just a regular laptop because he doesn't, that's what he wanted. We bought him like a PC laptop. And
a pretty good one.
Yeah, a pretty good one. And like the worst, like cardboard packaging,
It wasn't the worst. It just wasn't Apple.
Yeah. It's like, you pack like a brown packaging, right? Like, you send something in mail.
Yeah.
And then there's just this like computer in there, like
but it was like the taping was like whatever, and like the packet, they just put like a random sticker on it. It was like full of dirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I need my boxes to fit in perfectly.
Yeah,
like,
I need to have a whole experience opening this packaging, and so I, little things like that at the end of the day add to the experience of the brand.
That's what I was gonna say, because at the end of the day, like a med spa, it's a service that you want to go purchase. It's not a need.
Yeah.
So definitely, and there's just so many med spas out there nowadays that you can. You have to make yourself unique, and this is one of the best ways to do so, because at the end, like, they're going to end up talking about it to their friends, their family members, and those referrals are the best ones.
For sure. Those are the ones you really, really want in the business. And you want to try to influence those referrals, okay? And so that's a part of your process too. How can you influence referrals in your business? A lot of the times people like, do you have a strategy for word of mouth? A lot of people don't. Actually, that should be an episode. And so, okay. So anyway, going back to this, guys. So what are some of the things that need to happen? Where number one, whenever a lead is generated, obviously we want the lead, we want to get in touch with the lead. So what are some of the things that need to happen so we make sure we get in touch with the lead? Well, first of all, and this goes back down to operation, guys. What do we say all the time? Whenever we generate a new lead, we want to make sure we follow up with that lead within the first 3 to 5 minutes. And we've talked about this in other episodes, how statistically your chances of ever getting in touch with that person falls by 400% past minute 5, guys. So you want to make sure that you get in touch with them as soon as possible. Why? People just signed up. They're on their phones. They're on their computer. So they're stationary. And it's most likely you're going to get in touch with them if you call them right then and there, because they're on their phone, they're stationary.
In this fast-paced world, if you do not do so, they're on to the next thing by then.
Yeah, 100%. So you want to call them, within the first 3 to 5 minutes. You want to follow up with them 8 to 12 times. So again, guys, we've talked about this before. You want to have 8 to 12 touch points. Now, that doesn't mean that all of those are phone calls, because it's almost impossible if they're all phone calls.
And that could get annoying.
Yeah, and you want to have a series of emails, text messages, voicemails, phone calls. That's pretty much it. Yeah, you can even do mail. Send them a letter. You know what I mean? Like send them a postcard, something along those lines, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is that I always tell people you want to also just follow up in strategic time, guys. Especially if you're going to be doing these phone calls. Don't call in random hours of the day, guys. There's certain times during the day that are actually strategic. So I would always say early in the morning, and I'm talking about 8:30 a.m. or so, lunchtime. So 12. I want to say 11:30 all the way to 1:30, and then after 4. Yeah, I want to say I was gonna say 4:30, but honestly, it is gonna be after 5 when people just get out of work. They're not getting and they're gonna be able to answer their phones. What happens all the time people don't answer is that their jobs, guys. Obviously they're not gonna answer.
So this is like strategic calling at strategic times. It's not just like, okay, you just got the lead, you're calling them back, but it's probably in like the second, third touch
point, in the second and third call that you're going to make out. Obviously like I said, you want to call them within the first 3 to 5 minutes, and then the second time you try to get in touch with them, you want to follow up strategically, and you want to try those times that I just mentioned, right? And here's another piece of and again, it depends on how you handle your business, and every scenario might be different. But I always recommend that you have a person dedicated to handling those phones, or actually following up with those text messages if you're going to be text messaging. What we've seen happen all the time is that if you have 2 to 3 people, handling that, somebody responds to a text, and then they're like, okay, I just got this text notification. It's okay, this other person will take care of it. And so somebody needs to be held responsible for following up with those leads, right? Especially if it's people that they're juggling a few different things. So not only is their job being at front desk, but their job is also doing, treatments and stuff like that. And that's why I always recommend you want to make sure somebody is responsible. That way they actually feel that responsibility of getting in touch with them.
Falls through the cracks.
Yeah, nothing falls through the cracks, guys. Because again, is this person in contact with this person? Oh, I don't know. She's not in today, so I don't really know. There's just a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of fall through the cracks, just being organized. A lot of people are just not organized, and that's what's going to happen. So I just always recommend have one person do it and be dedicated to it up until it gets to the point where it's just so much that you need to have 2 people. At that point, I would say, okay, fine. But I just feel it's simpler when it's just one person.
Yeah, and that will come with its whole list of things and how to make sure that they communicate properly. But definitely having somebody dedicated to it, it will just elevate this customer interaction by 100%.
For sure. So that's all of our operation, guys, for getting in touch with that lead, right? So once you get in contact with that lead, then you're going to end up scheduling that lead, right? And so here's now what should happen when you actually get in contact with that lead. And so we always say objectives. Number 1, you get them on the phone, is that you want to build rapport with them, right? You want to establish your value proposition. So why should they choose you versus somebody else? And a lot of the time, it's just like your 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. You just kind of get it out there, let people know why they should be excited to come and see you. And then, you can do a little bit of pre-qualification while you're on that phone call there if you have them on there, as far as addressing their concerns. What are some of the questions that they might have, something like that. But obviously you don't want to get too deep into that. You want to leave that for the consultation. And then number 4, I would say that you want to state consultation incentives. So what we always do is that we say, hey, if you schedule your consultation today, we'll include this for free, or if you purchase a treatment, we'll include this for free. So you can either do, it depends on how you run your business and what you have available. Even if you just show up, for example, we have a client that even if they just show up, they'll get a free dermaplane. And that's just them giving value. That's just them making people feel really good about coming into their practice, even if they didn't buy anything, guys. But they can afford that. So again, it depends on your business. Or what you can do is that if they actually do buy something, then you'll include that free dermaplane in their treatment package, right? So you can handle your business however you want to, but those are just, again, what we're always thinking in this process is, how can we incentivize people to take action today versus tomorrow, right? And we've said this a bunch of times on the podcast. And we'll keep saying it until you get it, but because it works. Yeah, because it works, right? And so again, you're thinking to yourself, how can I incentivize this person to come and see me today versus tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
And so
and this is a
give them
great
good
way
reasons,
to do
guys.
so,
Yeah.
because you're giving them value. You're already kind of letting them know about your other services. They will get that little piece of experience maybe from your practice and the customer experience overall.
Awesome. Okay, so then you got in contact with the lead. You got them scheduled. Yes. Now, what needs to happen? Well, we need to make sure that lead is going to show up, guys. No show. We want to reduce the no-show rate. We want to reduce cancellation rates. I prefer a cancellation. You know, if somebody cancels, I'm still happy, because at the end of the day, they gave you the opportunity to schedule somebody else in. No shows is what we want to try to reduce as much as possible.
And you can try to reschedule with them if they end up canceling, right?
Yeah.
But at least they have that. You have that communication open still.
For sure.
For a future service. Yeah.
So normally, what I do and I tell people is that you want to schedule people 3 days out from when they called you, if not sooner. You know, the longer you schedule people out, let's say if you schedule them 2 to 4 weeks in advance, honestly, guys, you just killed all of the momentum that you just built with that person, all the excitement that they had for coming in. It just died right there.
Yeah,
you know?
It probably took a while for that person to actually say, like, you know what, yes, I'm going to do this for myself. Yeah. They're excited about it. They're like, okay, let's just jump the gun here.
And then they're like, oh, sorry, we can't see you till like 2 weeks from now.
It's like when you order something through Amazon and it's not available on Prime. You have to wait till it gets
It's the worst thing. It's the worst feeling ever, you know, like I hate it, you know. And so that's the world we live in, guys. And so we need to have the availability made out to them so that they can come in. And sometimes you'll get situations where like, oh, I'm sorry, I work, or my schedule is a little hard, stuff like that.
Weekends.
Yeah. And so I would say try your best to influence for them to come in, even if they say that they can't, like, or initially say, or they hint that they can. Nothing hurts by you just asking them, hey, is there any way that you could potentially come in, you know, let's say if today's Monday, you come in on Wednesday, or come in tomorrow, you know, like, or something like that. The sooner you can get, overall, what I'm saying is, guys, the sooner you can get them in, the better. And you always want to try to influence that as much as possible. Yes. Once you've got them scheduled, then I always recommend, obviously, you want to, as soon as they schedule, you want to send them a text message confirmation, right? Obviously, with their date and time, the location, address, all that stuff. A day before, we actually send out a text message confirmation. To remind them. And then the day of, an hour before, you can do this an hour or 2 hours before, you can send them another text confirmation. And if they don't answer, you can give them a call. But here's a quick hack for you guys, something that we just learned. We started to identify that a lot of people, even if they were going to cancel or they no-showed, like, they weren't confirming their text messages. And a lot of the times, depending on the software that you're using, the text messages that are sent out are actually very generic, and they actually, you know, impersonal. And, you know, at the end of the day, it is a machine just sending them out. And so people feel non-obligated to respond to them a lot of the times, right? And so what we just did, a simple little change, guys, is that we actually rewrote those confirmation text messages to make them sound like if it's an actual person sending out those text messages. And it's been a total game changer, guys. So we'll say, for example, one of the text messages will be, hey, Luis, we're getting ready to, you know, we're super excited to see you tomorrow. Does 10 a.m. still work? We ended with a question, guys. And then we'll get people to respond saying, oh yeah, I'm super excited. Oh yes, perfect. You know, it still works for me. Can't wait to see you guys. Whatever, you know.
Just simple yes.
Yeah, simple yeah. You know.
Reply.
You know, yes, see you there. You know, like, and so getting them to reply, getting them to commit. Yeah. Again, it's a psychological thing too. Like getting them to just already commit themselves to say, you know what, I am going to show up, because they actually told you they were really, really big. And then that confirmation, that last one, an hour before, also very personal, saying, hey, we're getting everything ready to see you. I'll see you in an hour. Here's the address again. Yeah. And, you know, so we wrote them as if an actual person was communicating with them versus just making it sound like a machine. Yeah. So that was a total game changer.
Actually, one of our clients too, for their high-end, like treatments, they actually even have like a beverage ready for them, right? And
Yeah.
in that text message, like an hour before their consult or their actual treatment, they'll let them know like, hey, can I have anything ready for you? Or can I have coffee?
Can I have coffee or water waiting for you? And then so that
It's
again,
just a little extra because they're gonna answer to that.
yeah, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, you want to make them feel that somebody is on the other line, and if they don't respond, it's kind of a little rude, right? And so
Yes.
so that's what we're trying to do here, guys. And then you want to make, again, going back to the experience, you want to make them feel that, oh, you know what, there actually is a person there waiting for me, looking
Yeah.
out for me. They took the time to actually text me and just make sure that I was going to show up, and it makes them feel a little bit special, right? Which is what we all want.
Yes.
And so, so once you get the lead to show up, guys, cross our fingers, right? We want the lead to show up, then we're going to consult the lead.
Yeah.
And so honestly, there's a bunch of things that you can put into this as to, like, obviously when they walk in and how your front desk greets them and what they do,
important.
and how much time they wait till they actually, get consulted and all that stuff, guys. I'm gonna leave that to you, but just know that obviously
that goes with your brand as well.
Yeah, that obviously there's a lot of things that can be done there, guys. To where as soon as a person comes in, hey, obviously your front desk standing up, greeting them, shaking their hand, having a smile on their face, sounding pleasant, not frustrated.
Yeah.
All of those things.
Offering them a beverage.
Yeah.
Talking to them about their experience.
You want to roll out
getting
that
to
red
know-
carpet, guys.
Yes. And we actually have an episode about this, of how like some of the little things that can help with your customer service overall.
Yeah. And so, so then they're there, you got them in for the consult, it's time to perform the consultation. And so we have a whole episode on this, guys. Go ahead and check that out. But just real quick, again, we want to build rapport with that person, kind of build the relationship with them, right? We want to explain the technology. We want to address their concerns, state the value proposition, and then state, time for the closing, right? And so here's another, I think we might later do an episode on this, but here's just some quick hacks as well that if you can implement them in your business, then awesome. Not everybody can, but here's just some things that we would recommend. And honestly, these are sales tactics that work for any business, guys. Not just, obviously not just for med spas or anything like that, but for any type of business, these tactics work really, really good. Yeah. So what I tell people all the time is that when you present price, you want to present 3 options, right? Why? Because you want to look at price anchoring, and it's a whole psychological aspect to this when it comes to pricing. There's a lot of great talks on this. You guys can do a little bit more research and kind of dig in to know about pricing psychology. But 3 packages is always kind of the way to go. Why people don't want to feel cheap? They want to feel like they're making a responsible purchasing decision. Yep. So they'll end up getting the middle package, right? Very basic, okay? But what are some things that you can influence or you can do so that you can actually tilt them towards actually purchasing the bigger package? Well, you can add different bonuses into that package. You can give them stuff for free of other services, right? You can give them an additional pricing incentives, right? And then what I tell people all the time to do is, like, you can say, hey, well, you know what? If you want to get the bigger package, but you're still not sure, you can just leave a 50% deposit or a 30% deposit, whatever is good for you. And then you have and then you can just let us know in 24 hours if you want to keep this or not. 100% refundable. You're trying to lower the barrier of entry. Okay, and so you want to make people feel comfortable. And then another thing that we recommend is what's called a risk reversal. And so you can say, kind of going, this is very popular in co-sculpting, where you say, hey, you know what? If you don't get results, if you don't, see,
don't feel 100%.
Yeah, or whatever it was, right? If you don't see after 90 days, if you don't gain X pounds and whatever, then we'll actually retreat you for free. There's a risk. You take the risk away from them and you put it on yourselves. And honestly, guys, there's a lot, you're taking on the risk, but there is a lot more reward that will benefit, versus the risk. You're probably going to get some situations where people will not get the results, and that's fine, but you're going to be making a lot more money because of that risk, like you putting that risk on yourself. So that's super, super important.
Especially when you're very confident about like the treatment plan for them
Yeah.
and your staff, and knowing like for most people it works and this is what they're gonna need for that, then it's just like a no-brainer
For sure.
because usually maybe people are a little bit like hesitant about like
People are going to be 100% hesitant, especially for cool sculpting. Like you're
Yeah.
asking them to invest thousands of dollars on a treatment where that's supposed to get rid of their fat, but then like there is no promise that they're actually going to get those results that they're looking
and it's
for.
still like 3 months
And it's
away.
still 3 months out. Then of course they're going to be hesitant, guys. Like how would you feel? You would feel exactly the same way, you know? And so you understand that, you know, empathize with them and offer something to them that's going to put them at ease, just like the way anybody else would, you know?
Yeah.
And then here's another one. You can offer them like a one-time offer, what's called a one-time offer. So you can say, hey, if you let me know by the end of today, I'll drop the price to this. I'll include this in the package. You know, you can add little incentives like that. And then here's another one that you could potentially try where you say, hey, if you get back to me within 3 days, because obviously, I need to go talk to my husband, blah, 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 blah. Okay, hey, if you get back to me in the next 3 days, then I'll include this in there for free, or you know, or I'll include this, this discount that I'm offering to you. It's only valid for this next 3 days, right?
Yeah.
And so we call those fast action bonuses, guys. Again, everything that we're trying to do here is giving them an incentive to take action today versus tomorrow. So again, in every single step of this process, think that to yourself. What can you do to influence them in that purchasing decision, right? And so those have worked really well, even in our business, you know, and if you're a client, you know what I'm talking about. And so that's really, really awesome stuff, guys. Make sure that you implement that in your business, okay? So we're getting towards the end here. I'm talking really fast because I want to make sure this episode doesn't get super long.
Super long,
But then, okay, so they bought the treatment, guys. You did it. Awesome job. You know, ring that bell. Everybody's excited, you know. What needs to happen next? Well, the lead needs to get treated. And so there's obviously a lot of things, a lot of protocol things that whatever treatment you are providing, there's a lot of things that need to happen for your business. We're looking at a marketing and sales standpoint. And so that's what's coming at you next, okay? And so for me, what I believe is important at this point is that you want to build social proof. You want to create marketing content of these people that are actually there and they're getting treated, they're excited, that you can use for later, because all of that stuff is gold, guys. It's marketing gold, you know?
Yes.
And so I always tell people, hey, get the video testimonial up front. And we've talked about this in some of our episodes as well, where you say, hey, is it okay if we do a little video of you getting your treatment done? Or, you know, or hey, can you just do a quick video talking about your experience with us so far? Some people are thinking, well, they haven't, if it's cold sculpting, or any other type of like laser treatment or injectables, like, well, they haven't gotten their full result yet. It doesn't matter. Have them talk about what their experience was like. How did they feel, you know, coming in?
And that's why all those touch points are so important, because from the moment they walk in, they felt warm and welcomed and everything. That's what they're going to talk about in that first video.
Yeah, so get the video testimonial and then ask them to leave you guys a review. Have them go to your Google, to your Facebook page and leave you guys a review.
Yep.
Whatever you use. I always recommend Google.
Yeah.
And then after that, at least post-op results, right? So once this person gets the results, have them come in, and how do you get them to come in? That's a big problem, especially with cool sculpting. How do you get people to come back and get their before and after photos? Well, give them an incentive, guys. Get them to come in, right? Giving them special pricing, giving them, hey, because we're thankful that you're going to come in and get your before and after photos, we're going to hook you up with a free microderm.
Yeah.
We're going to hook you up with a free dermaplane. I mean, you know, whatever it is, guys, or cryo treatment, whatever it is. But, you know, obviously it benefits you to get those before and after photos. So give them a reason to come in. Give them a reason why they should take time out of their busy day to come and see you guys, to give you those before and after photos. So super important.
You expose them to other services within your business as well. So that's always a great thing.
And then last one, I talked about how can you influence referrals, guys? How can you influence word of mouth? I always tell people, hey, give them So basically, you can hey, every time you bring somebody here, we'll give you $50, and then we'll give your friend a $50 off as well. You know, so that way it's like, you know, they have a reason to refer, but then also the friend that they bring in actually feels special. The camera just moved, sorry. The friend actually feels special, you know, coming in because they're getting this discount. It's like, oh yeah, my friend brought me, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And even if you have a membership program, this is like a
great time to present that. Great time to do a more thorough consultation of what they really need and try to upsell them into something else, guys. Great opportunity here. So that's pretty much it. You know, we did about 30 minutes of that, so hopefully you guys caught that. I was going fast, so make sure you go back and you write these down. Or if you just want to download the content, click the link on this video, guys, and make sure to download this. Take it home, make it your own. Make it your own. Start building these out in your business if you don't already have them.
There might be so many more scenarios within it, so make sure to talk to your staff and get everybody on the same page.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I really like this one. I think this one's good. And so thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, you know, if you need help, guys, please let us know. If you want to talk to us about, if you feel that you're at that right point in your business where you're ready to start spending money to make money by bringing people in, reach out to us, guys. Go to our website at everable.io, and we'd be happy to have a consultation with you guys and talk to you about your business, where you guys at, and see us as an agency, we can actually help you take your business to the next level. Also, don't forget to join our Facebook group. Click on the link on the show notes, and we'll catch you guys there. And then we'll see you all.
Actually,
I almost forgot.
Yes. So we have a giveaway going on because we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary. So we are giving out 3 licenses for 3 months for Patient Gym.
Yeah.
We love Patient Gym. We've been talking about it so much. We want you to get a chance to actually experience it. So in order to win that, all you have to do is give us a review. Go to iTunes or your
There's a link on here to go there. Yeah, so link to that. Leave us a review.
And then there is a link in the show notes as well, so you can just register in there. It's just a way for us to get your information, to contact you whenever and if ever you win.
Yes. So don't forget to do that, guys. You can win a license, a 3-month license to Patient Gym. So you can check it out. We'll help you set it up and everything. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you all on the next episode.